Welcome back, folks. In case you've been wondering where we've been, get ready, it's story time. Alright, so a couple of months ago I got an email from a subscriber who was asking if we would be willing to be guest speakers at a rally they're holding. Now, this rally was for a BMW organization. I believe it was BMW of Northen Florida. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. I'll put it across the screen. But yeah, I told him, we're not BMW riders. He said, that's okay, we're open for all bikes. Riders, and I kind of like that. So he informed us it was a 4-day thing. We would be arriving on Thursday and leaving on Sunday. There were rides scheduled and everything, and it sounded really cool, and I thought it would be great for the channel, and also just nice to be with a bunch of like-minded people. Now, this event was being held in a place called Live Oak, which is in Northern Florida, almost at the border of Georgia. So we accepted. And started making some preps, did an oil change on the bike, washed it. Actually got some new gear. I got new helmets for me and Nina. I replaced the USB plugs on the bike. I wanted something that was faster charging with higher speeds. We got going, got on the bike, started heading out. Everything was going great.
On this trip, we're heading north to a place called Live Oak, which is almost at the border of Florida and Georgia. And the reason we're going up there is we were invited to be guest speakers at a BMW rally.
And when we reached about Orlando, which is about 3 hours, so probably about the halfway point, it was dark already. I was on the Florida's Turnpike, and all of a sudden I heard a loud boom under the bike. Wasn't sure what it is, thought maybe I just went over something. But the next thing I know, the alarm started going off in my Bluetooth speakers, and I knew what that was immediately. That was the FOBO tire pressure monitor sensors. Right away I looked at the screen and I saw the temperatures going from 50, 40, 30, 20 within a matter of seconds. Those precious few seconds were just enough to get me over and get on the shoulder. And luckily Nina was behind me. She was driving, she wasn't on the motorcycle.
You may notice Nina is not behind me, at least she's not behind me on the bike. She's actually behind me in the car.
Because she has a herniated disc in her neck, and the physical therapist just told her she should lay off for a little while and not ride on the motorcycle, especially long distances, just because her head would be kind of whipping around, and that'll put more strain on her neck. Put the kickstand down, take off my helmet, and I put it on the back seat where Nina usually sits. Big mistake, don't do that, guys. And I started walking around the bike. I said, okay, I have a tire repair kit, and if I find the hole, I'll be able to plug it and just get back on the road. So as I'm walking around the front of the bike, all of a sudden I hear, boom, crash, and my heart sank. I look to my side, and I see the bike laying on its side. So the bike tipped over. The helmet, brand new helmet, Shoei Neotech 2. This was my first ride out with it. That went crashing on the floor. Now, because of the way the road was, there was no way that I was going to be able to change the flat. And quite frankly, when I started thinking about it, I realized this isn't a simple flat like a nail or something. Whatever it is was pretty significant for all the air to come out from 50 to, I think it went down to 3 pounds in a matter of maybe 8 seconds. So I knew this wasn't something I was going to be able to just do a roadside repair. And I found an area that had a cluster of about 4 or 5 different motorcycle shops around it. I'll tow the bike there. We'll get a room, spend the night. Tomorrow morning, we'll go to the shops. We have the car. And I'll find out who has the tire. I'll get it installed, and we'll continue. Hotel was only 5.5 miles away. So I get on the phone, and I start Googling for motorcycle towing services. And I got a bunch of phone numbers, bunch of different companies, and I started calling them. The first one wanted $294, 5.5 miles. I said, I'm not paying $300 to go 5 miles. There's no way. Finally, I picked one. It was about $250. I said, whatever, I'm just gonna get off the side of the highway, because at this point I've been there for about 3 or 4 hours. I agreed, gave them my credit card, did the whole thing. They sent me an email. The only issue is they said that the driver was on a job. It would be 60 to 90 minutes. So we're sitting by the side of the road. The temperatures had dropped to the 40s. 90 minutes went by. Nobody showed up. I called the company again. I said, hey, what's going on? It's been more than 90 minutes at this point. He puts me on hold, and he attempts to contact the driver. And after about 10 or 15 minutes on hold, he comes back to me and he says, I'm sorry, but we're not able to locate the driver. We're going to have to cancel the job. Are you kidding me? After an hour and a half of me sitting on the side of the road, you're going to cancel the job. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. At this point, we've been on the side of the road for close to 5 hours. So in the meantime, while I'm trying to look for tow trucks, a road ranger pulled over. He saw us on the side of the road and he asked if we can help. So he gave me a name of a tow truck company. He said that they're the ones that are contracted by the Florida Turnpike. They have flat rates. They're pretty quick in arriving, and that'll probably be my best bet. So called them, arranged it. The guy came out. Within 45 minutes, even a little bit less, which was great. The guy had a winch. He had all the proper equipment, had the experience. So we get the bike up. We get to the hotel, take it off. So he was very nice, very cool about it. Helped me push it into a parking spot, helped me get it on the center stand. Fast forward, next morning, I get up, we have breakfast, and I start calling different motorcycle shops. Nobody has the tire. Everybody told me the same thing. We can order it for you. It'll be here in a couple of days. So we had to move to plan B. Again, I contacted the guys at BMW, told them the situation. I said, listen, I'm not able to get a tire. Nobody has it in stock. And, I'm not gonna be able to make it. So, I apologize. I felt really horrible about it, but there was nothing I could do. So I started going online, checking budget, U-Haul, Penske. I ended up booking a U-Haul, and I got a small truck. It was like a 10-foot truck, and I got a motorcycle trailer because unfortunately in our new car that we got about a year ago, we don't have a trailer hitch. So I booked it. Everything was good. I said, okay, great. I'll pick it up. We'll come back here, load up the bike, and we'll be good to go. We'll go home. About 45 minutes after booking it, I get a phone call from U-Haul, and they said, hi, you booked a truck and a motorcycle trailer. And I said, yep, I sure did. Well, I'm very sorry, but we don't have the truck. I said, what do you mean you don't have the truck? So I told her, well, listen, I need a truck, I need a trailer, help me find one. So she started looking about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, couldn't find anything. And she said, I'm going to keep checking. I have your phone number. If I find anything, I'll call you back. So I started going into Plan C. And Plan C was to actually get a shipping company to pick up my motorcycle and just ship it to my house. I spoke to a friend of mine who actually works with the shipping companies. I use them for work all the time. And he told me he was going to put it up on the board, and now we were just waiting for a driver to pick up the job. So long story short, all day Friday, we couldn't get anything. We ended up getting another night at the hotel. Luckily, they had a room. On Saturday, at about 8-something in the morning, my phone starts ringing and ringing and ringing. I hit ignore, they call back again. I hit ignore, they call back again. And I look at the screen, and it was the guy from the shipping company. I said, okay, so he's probably found me a truck. So I call him back, and he tells me, hey, I have a driver. He's in the area. He takes motorcycles. He said he can be there in 15 minutes, pick up your motorcycle, drop it off. This is the price. I said, okay. Sounds good. The only thing is I literally just woke up. I need about half hour, have some coffee, get ready, and then I'll meet him outside. That morning, it was in the 30s. So had our coffee, got ready, bundled up, went outside. The truck driver was there waiting, and I took one look at his truck, and I said, we're going to have an issue. It was one of those where they have the two little ramps that they kind of attach on the sides, and the cars drive up. No winch, nothing. And I look at the guy and I said, how do you expect me to get the bike up? He's like, oh, well, we'll just put one of the ramps in the middle and you can just ride it up. And I said, I'm not riding it up a narrow ramp that goes up about 4 or 5 feet. So I told him, listen, that's not going to work. We tried coming up with different solutions and nothing. So he ended up canceling. So we're back to square one. We're still stuck in Orlando with no way to get the bike home. I call up the shipping guy again, my friend, and told him we need another truck. And then we just kind of hung out there, waiting. And there were no trucks calling back agreeing to do the job. So I said, okay, well, we got to go back to Plan B again and try to find a U-Haul. So I had the idea to actually call back the same place that I originally booked it, even though they told me from U-Haul that it wasn't available. I said, let me try my luck, see what happens. So I called him up. So she actually transferred me to the regional manager. He started checking all his different stores, and he told me, okay, I found you a motorcycle trailer. Now let me work on the truck. He said, are you planning on putting anything in the back of the truck? And I said, no, I'm just using the truck to tow the bike. He says, okay, well, I have one truck. That truck just came back from a rental. Somebody did a moving, and the lady, when she returned it, she told us that she saw a roach. So we bombed it, and we let it air out. It's been about 2-3 hours, but if you're planning on putting anything in the back, you know, it's toxic. So here's the address. Go pick up the truck, and as soon as you pick up the truck, haul ass and go to the place where the motorcycle trailer is, because they close at 4, and they are not ones to wait. 4:01, they're not going to be there. Finally, we get the truck, and I put the address in the GPS to go get the motorcycle trailer, and it has me getting there at 4:03. 3 minutes late. We get out there, we start driving. Along the way, I actually get on the phone with Nina, and I tell her, hey, go around me, just haul ass, try to get there before 4, because with the truck, it's very slow going. So she did that. In the meantime, I called up the regional manager, and I told him, hey, could you do me a favor, at least give him a call and ask him to wait a few minutes. You know, we're not going to be more than 3 minutes late. I get there, and Nina's at the front door. She looks at me, and she just goes, they're closed. I said, you got to be kidding me. What do we do now? She's like, I don't know. I called back the regional manager. I said, brother, what happened? You said you spoke to them. They were going to wait. He's like, no, I left them a message in the system and this and that. And just as I'm telling him this, a black pickup truck pulls up right next to us. And he says, are you guys returning a rental? And I said, no, we're actually here to pick up the motorcycle trailer. He's like, oh, well, we closed at 4. It's 4:03. Sorry, you know, we're already closed. There's nothing I can do. Come back tomorrow. I told him, listen, I know been working all day, you're tired, you just want to go home, but this is my situation. We've been stuck here since Thursday. It is now Saturday. This is my last chance to get out of here. I said, please, I'll pay you for your time, just let me have the trailer. He finally agreed. Now we get back to the hotel. I realize I don't have any straps, so we left the trailer there. I went to look for a Lowe's. Luckily they had a set of straps. It was the last one they had. Ran back to the hotel, got the bike up to the trailer, strapped it down, hooked up the trailer to the truck. Everything was good, and we started heading back. We get the bike home, take it off the trailer, put it in my parking spot, and I go out, I go to Honda, I purchase the tire. But when I went to remove the wheel, I noticed something. Yeah, not good. Little pieces of metal inside. So it turns out those pieces of metal were actually the bearings. So I ordered all the parts I needed, new bearings, seals, etc. I replaced them, got everything back in. And then I went and I checked the caliper. And when I looked at the caliper, I noticed that they're pretty much pitted. So now I'm basically at a point where either I replace the caliper and just buy a new one, or rebuild it. I might just go ahead and buy it new so I don't have to deal with it. But now I gotta check a couple of other things, the secondary master cylinder, and gotta check the bearings up front, you know, just make sure everything is safe and everything is running the way it's supposed to be. You know, we do a lot of long distance riding, and these little things, they can get you in trouble really quick. So yeah, basically the bike's in pieces right now. The rear wheel's off, the caliper's off. You know, while I am bummed, the bike's been grounded for about 3 weeks already, and I still got probably a couple of weeks more, but hey, better safe than sorry. I'd rather find the problems here, fix them here, than to have something lock up on me on the road and, you know, cause me all kinds of nightmares. So that's where I stand now. I know I still have the last episode of the East Coast trip to finish, between everything that I've been doing with the bike. And I don't know if you noticed, but put up a new charging station over there. I got all my gear, all the batteries, all the chargers, tripods, the GoPro cameras, microphones, pretty much everything up on that wall. And I ran wiring behind it, and took a lot of work to get that up. That also took some time because I ran into issues. You know how they say measure twice, cut once? Well, I didn't measure twice. I do intend on finishing that last episode. I'm trying to get things set up where I get a couple more videos shot, some Tech Tips Thursdays, and reviews various things. Just wanted to give you guys this update, let you know what's been going on, and that's the story of how the bike got grounded. And that's it. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Mike, and we'll see you on the road.